Hello. Hi. I'm I'm getting back online because I received a question which I really want to answer. I thank Tanya for sending this question over. Especially because I wrote some notes down about it so that I don't get lost or sidetracked. But the question was, why do we need to free ourselves from the collective unconscious? And why are imprints something we need to release? Okay, so first of all, what I wanted to say is that this is only my experience, and everyone there's thousands of paths to live on this earth, and thousands of ways and different perspectives. So everyone is, um, going to find their own way. So all I can do here is express um, how it has been for me once I was, I how it has been for me once I integrated spirit into my body and I was aware of the the collective unconscious and that stuff that I was feeling that wasn't actually mine, and but it was more of like the thoughts of other, just like of the collective, the thoughts and the feelings of the collectives, the emotions, and those really, it wasn't like being in my center. Those really just kept pulling me back into really much denser states and negative thought patterns. Basically, I remember feeling shame, and I remember and I knew it wasn't my shame. For a long time it wasn't my shame. I was like, this is not mine. What's going on? I've never felt this. And all of a sudden now, as soon as we moved 2 years ago to LA, I felt like all this shame, and I was like, this is so strange. This can't be me. This can't be me. And when I got my aura transformation, the first thing that was gone. That was so gone. And then I realized, oh, it's in the field of either the city or like this country. And I was just sensing it. And and it was becoming part of me. It was sort of more guiding my life. So in that sense, like, I'm really grateful because I now know it's like if you're connected to all these thoughts in the collective, it's like you're putting your energy in all these different places and your energy's all dispersed. Whereas if you're completely, it's not being disconnected, but if you're more aware and you're embodying your spirit, you're radiating out your such high vibrational energy and your essence that then those thoughts or feelings don't actually impact you and throw you out. It throw you out of alignment, throw you out of not being your truth, your true self. So to me, that was, it's key. It's key because if I'm aware of like when thoughts are mine, when they're not, or if they're not, or if I'm actually not connecting with those thoughts, or I have the choice to, to hooking to them or not, I can follow my own truth, my guidance inside, and I know what I want. And knowing what you want, not from like a needy place, but knowing from you what you want from your heart, and that heart that is connected to source is, wow, for me, like probably one of the most amazing things, because for a long time I wasn't able to do that. A lot of the stuff that I wanted it and that I really felt passionate and that I felt was my purpose, I couldn't do because there was so much stuff that I was connected to in the collective that wouldn't let me break through and or like go search for what I did. It was like all of a sudden I had indecision over stuff where I kept being pulled when I was ready to do something, pulled back by the energy, an energy that's denser, that doesn't, in a way, is very conditioned and doesn't want you to, this is how I feel, it doesn't want you to thrive. And it is so important that, like, once, the thing is that once you're each, this is what I feel, that once we're connected to our true self, our purpose, then everyone came down here with a purpose, with a mission, or, so, like, then you find it, and then there's going to be no competition in this world, because everyone has their way, their path, and that will be living in harmony and in balance. Okay, I wrote a few other things. Let me see. So yeah, I was saying that really you're aware of what is yours and what is not yours. And this, that being just really aware of, like, sending the energy that is not yours back. So everything that you hook on to, so with every interaction you have with people, with things, with thoughts, all of that is energy. And it is to be aware that you're sending that back and calling back your purest, truest self every time. And then in terms of the imprints, basically, if these, like, I mean, there's imprinting, which is, great. Some of the imprints that we have are patterns, or we're imprinted with, with planetary information from, that's why we have an astrological chart. And the astrological chart, it gives you your map for what you came here for, but it gives you your whole, like, karmic map as well. But, like, once this is only in terms of, I can only speak in terms for this specifically in terms of aura transformation, because once you're, like, aura transformed, your and spirit is within your body, then you're living on a completely different map, which means that you've released all those karmic imprints or karmic ties, and then you're ready to be here with who you are. So I think for me, it was really important, like, to have, I don't have an influence, like, my astrology, the planets that make me up don't actually have an influence on me in here. So, okay, what this has done for me, it is, up until now, is living in permanent joy, being able to follow, really, I mean, it's living in permanent joy because I know why I came here for. And that is such an amazing feeling. It's, my whole body vibrates, my whole being vibrates. I receive so much knowledge from within. It's like there's nothing, it's like I am part of the whole and part of that unity, and but, like, all the information is within me. And it's really interesting because, like, the energy keeps showing you more and more, basically. So if there are, like, if you come up with, like, more conditioning or more, like, imprinting, more of those patterns, or programs that you can, it sort of, like, comes up in such a, for me, it comes up and it shows me in such a clear way that I'm like, that I can look at it. And instead of, like, most of the time before, I would either take really long to be aware of what the pattern was, or I wouldn't really be able to be truthful. But here it's like showing me, it's like put in front of me, I'm shown this pattern, and then usually there's, like, a fear reaction for me of, like, not wanting to do something. But it's like I look at it, and then it gives me, like, the way to overcome it. I always have the choice. I can always choose not to like want to overcome it, but why would I do that if I know I can, and that is going to be adding to more of my I don't know if my I don't know if to call it personal empowerment, but it's more of my self-love, you know. It would end up being more of like bringing more of like who I am in, because I'm releasing that those limitations. And I'm going to give one example in particular, which was super interesting. And basically, I all of a sudden I started seeing like the so much, like so many beliefs that I had that I didn't even know I had around money. So I had these like deeply ingrained feelings of like greed, and it's not feeling of greed, it's the feeling of like not having enough, or they're not having enough, there won't be enough, or something like that. So straight away I saw that and I was like, what is this? This is, you know, it just felt like so. And I think it's in our society anyways, it's, you know, that we've been conditioned with this, you know, we're in the capitalist society and we've been conditioned with this idea for so long, we don't even realize, you know, how much we hold on to money when it's a free energy and it should just be flowing. So what happened straight away is I got like I felt the information, and I got all this information about like just be playful with it, be playful with it and start allowing it to flow. So then I started doing groups. I was like, okay, and I charged, but everything, not everything, but like part of what I would make, I would pass on to like a cause, whatever was important to me, and the same. And then from that on, like all the groups that I've been doing, it's been like I've just been feeling what it what um what price they should have and how, and it's sort of like a game. It's all playing to sort of neutralize the energy around it. And you would say the energy or the imprinting, the conditioning around it, this conditioning of that we don't have enough, that we want more, and that money is like, you know, that this unconscious green, like, you know, that there's not enough for all, when the reality is that it's flowing and that there is for everyone, and that we live in an infinite abundant place, universe, being, where we're, and that we are infinitely abundant. We are like, this just shows me that we are so amazingly creative, and we are, and for me, I've become so amazingly creative. Like I was that, but I wasn't able to see it. And thanks to like being able to stand in my own energy and like, you know, embodying spirit and like, and releasing those imprintings that like, well, letting go of some of those imprintings and being really aware of what other, you know, conditionings and imprintings are there, I'm able to be this creative being, and I'm able to show myself, and and I have the joy for being here on earth and wanting to do it. And I just look at every being on earth and they're magical and amazing, and I want them to do it as well, and to live, I don't know, the most amazing life they can on this earth. um you know, to me, like how it feels now is, oh my god, like it was so, for so long it was so much suffering and, you know, hard trying to understand, and now it's like, oh wow, I just know, I don't need any of that anymore. And the most amazing and most magical part is like how it's all a game, how it's all a game, and that it's so playful, and um and no matter what the result is, it's just that feeling that it's okay. Because when you're uh, when you're in you know, ascending in vibration, as your vibration gets higher and you're living from the heart, sort of like you're going to neutrality. So things can be shitty, but it doesn't have an impact in a way. It's not like you don't spiral into emotion. Like you can have feelings, but you don't go into the emotion that much, or really not at all. It's like, oh, that happened. Oh, okay. So, and you figure out another way. You go, yeah, you find your path, you find your way. And that's incredible because it's very little, I mean, it's very little human, as of the humans we know ourselves to be, but I think it's a lot of human being. So it's like being here, being so present that things don't throw you off. You just stay in your presence. So let me see if I wrote anything else, because oh yeah, I wrote about this, just being in permanent joy, permanent clarity, honesty, and you're clear and honest with yourself. You know, it's like you're no longer saying, I see myself. I no longer go like, I don't say yes to something I'm not feeling. I don't say no to something I'm not feeling. Like I won't contradict myself. I can think one thing once and then that might change and shift because I'm evolving, of course, but it's not the same. And then, oh yeah, I'm saying like expanded state in unity. I'm just feeling, I feel so much love for everyone. And it is just a complete unconditional love. It doesn't matter who they are. I don't really see like it's really strange. I don't really see the necessity of like that person, what they do, who they are, whatever. It's just like, just the being, just the physicality and the being, what's behind the physicality as well. So, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. The opposite is how I was before. I could live like, I could go into contraction a lot more, into disharmony, into, you know, not being aligned with what I really am and what I really thought. Oh, another thing that's really important, and this, I don't know if I must have said it before, but for the collective, of like the collective, being connected to the collective unconscious and stuff, it is like we're connected through our like mental body. And so if you're having, and we know that on this earth, this is a highly creative planet, right? And we create through our thoughts and through intention and vibration, but especially it's through our thoughts. So if we have all this chatter from like different things, and like, you know, you're passing by somebody, you can hear their thoughts in your mind. You don't even know, maybe you're aware, maybe you're not, but like you're hearing thoughts from everywhere. And like, so like, and then there's like, you know, tons of negative thought, tons of like really really, you know, a lot of feelings of fear. And if you have all of that in your system, like what are you going to be thinking and what are you going to be creating? There's no possibility for you to create what you know, that like amazing life that in your heart, you know, that you want, because, and that you can have, because that's the key thing that for me, I always knew there was something a lot, I don't know if to say better, better, a lot more magical than the reality that I was living. And you know, I'm so thankful that I am in that place now. And I, you know, and hopefully it just like keeps just like evolving and showing me. And it's not a perfect place, but it's magical. And that's what's amazing, you know. That the most magical thing is that every day I keep learning, and that's incredible. Okay. Well, Tanya, I hope this helps you. Well, helps you, that it's clear and that it was a good sort of like interesting response. And the same for anyone who's listening. And I'm loving making these videos. They are, I think, an act of self-love for myself, even though this is, for example, one of the things I would have never been able to do a video and show myself before. Never. And now I'm very happy. And even though it might make me, nervous before, I'm I'm so happy that I can actually overcome that hiding away, that fear to need to hide, and actually be here, show you and share. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, any more questions? If anyone has questions that I can answer through my experience and my perception, I will be very happy to chat about. I'm really liking it. So yeah. Big kisses to everyone. Thank you so much for listening and supporting. Love you. Bye.